We hope that you had a wonderful evening and you enjoyed the hospitality of Gauteng. It is an opportunity that you should not miss the nightlife of Gauteng. If you missed it, you might as well speak to your seniors to get another night so that you can enjoy it. I certainly hope you did not engage in fruitless and wasteful expenditure to come to the province only to be in your bed in the hotel room. You ought to be experiencing what the province has to offer. I still remain Brian Pique and the Secretary General of the South African Public Colleges Organization and still the principal at Northland College, not to leave the college soon. And welcome to this session, which is a continuation of our conference we adjourned yesterday to resume today. I hope that our delegates online have joined us already because we need to run with the program. Are they online? Thank you very much. Just a few household matters. The receivers, these things that they use for DJs, are meant for the session when there is a speaker that speaks a language that you might not understand. We understand the problem that you might have had. We are searching for 7 receivers. It is possible that you just collected your stuff and put it in the bag. It's a possibility. And only realize when you get to the room, I've taken these. You are not stealing. It's a human error. We accept it because all of us are doing such. We request those who might have taken the receivers by mistake to please just declare them at the back so that the numbers can tally again when they do their calculations. I am also reliably informed that they are extremely expensive and the costs will be borne by Ekurhuleni West. And I don't think we want to do that. We do not want to leave the college with a debt. So please, if you have taken it by mistake, just return it, because on the tables there were receivers put. So you will now have 2 instead of 1. So you just return the one that is extra. Thank you very much, colleagues. I hope that we are going to oblige and assist each other in that process. So yesterday when we left, we were going to be led by the chairperson of the Western Cape and principal of the West Coast College, Mr. Mulawa, on sectoral priority number 4. We are now going to give to him to bring his speakers to the fore and those who are online to also join him. Can we give him a round of applause as he is coming?
Good morning. Dumelan. Sanibonani, Molweni. My name, as I am being introduced by SG, it's Lungisang Bulawa, principal of West Coast College. I just want to acknowledge the presence of DDG for Tvet, Mr. Zungu. Acknowledge the presence of Sub-Co-President, Professor Putsitsi, office bearers, and then the entire NEC. I also want to acknowledge the delegates from Brics member countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. I also want to acknowledge our strategic partners. I also want to acknowledge and greet my panelists that will be joining me in a moment. All protocol observe. Happy Mandela Month. And then I urge all of you to go out there and do good. Colleagues, we are tasked then with priority number 4. We have listened yesterday to the different speakers. You can see the trend in all the 4 priorities. And then today it's the last one. And then I also want to acknowledge those who are joining us virtually. I will just give a brief overview of our priority number 4. It reads as follows: how can purposefully partnerships for workplace-based learning amidst employer reluctance and challenges be forged? So I will do the brief introduction. I'm not sure whether are you able to flight my presentation. If not, then I am very mindful of time. I will just speak on it. It seems our IT is not ready yet. Just on introduction, we are saying workplace-based learning is an essential component of vocational education and training, providing students with the practical skills as well as industry experience. However, forging purposeful partnership for work-based learning can be challenging, especially when employers are reluctant to participate. So in this session, we'll explore strategies to overcome employer reluctance, as well as challenges to establish further partnerships. What is it in for the employers? Employers need to understand the benefit of workplace learning. We need to clearly communicate the advantages, such as access to skills talent pool and reduced recruitment costs. It's quite a challenge to recruit. So if then students are taken through the workplace-based learning, it actually saves the employer time, costs, as well as other hidden costs. We also have to emphasize the positive impact on productivity, employee retention, and then the opportunity to shape future employees. We also have to highlight the long-term benefit of investing in work-based learning, such as well-preparing workforce and increased competitiveness. Understand the employer concern, conduct survey, and engage in dialogue to understand employers' specific concern and barriers to participation. We also have to come up with tailor-made programs to meet employer needs, such as flexible scheduling, tailored training plans, and then clear communication channels when there are challenges. We also have to address the potential liabilities and then insurance issues through clear agreement and risk-sharing mechanisms. Obviously, to attract the employers, they would need certain incentives. One of those then would be to offer financial incentives or tax credits to encourage employer engagement in a workplace-based learning. We must also recognize and celebrate employers' contribution to awards and a public recognition. So it's important then that we must invite them whenever we've got events in our institution or organization so that we can publicly acknowledge their role. Streamline administrative process to reduce the burden on employers and then ensure a smooth and a meaningful partnership. Obviously, getting an additional person in your company or organization, it brings added cost and then administrative cost. Therefore, as Tvet sector or colleges or organization, we have to really assist the employers when it comes to this regard. So we really have to streamline and then make it much easier for the employers. Establish strong relationships with employers through networking events, industry advisory board, and then regular communication channels. Engage employers in the design of the workplace-based learning programs to ensure the relevance and then align them with the industry needs. This needs to be done regularly. Foster open dialogue and collaboration to build trust and then address employers' concern. So obviously, there needs to be scheduled meetings, feedback sessions, so that we are able to address all the concern. In conclusion, we are saying regular communication with employers. So I've referred this in a form of a meeting, surveys, as well. You can speak face-to-face with them. Involve the employers in designing of workplace-based learning program. I think this is quite critical because at the end of the day, you might have things that are not relevant, but you still pursue them. But if you engage in an ongoing dialogue, you are then able then to assist the employers. Thank you. Now I shall invite, you must not be afraid to clap. You can do better than that. I know you can do better than that, South Africans. Now I shall invite my panelists to come and join me here. I'm going to invite the South African representative, Ms. Mosesi, Deputy Principal Academics, Tvet College. The Brazilian representative, I do not have the name, but if they can just be ready online. The Russian representative, Natalia Okansanova, Chief Specialist International Cooperation Officer. The Indian representative, if we can also be ready, I do not have a name. The Chinese representative, Ms. Shuku, Secretary of Party Committee, Ninja Vocational Institute of Railway and Technology. So she indicated then that she will be joining virtually. So I hope the others, they are also going to join virtually. So they are going to unpack the topic. They've only got 5 minutes, so they must just keep it nice and short. Thank you very much, ma'am. The stage is yours. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
All protocols observed. It is indeed a pleasure and an honor to be given this opportunity to talk in this seminar. My name is Jackie Mosesi. I am the Deputy Principal Academic at Tvet College. And I will be sharing with you very practical and to the point experiences on how can purposeful partnerships for workplace-based learning amidst employer reluctance and challenges be forged. In 2022, July 27 and 28th, our Minister of Education, Science and Innovation hosted the inaugural Tvet College Strategic Industry Partnerships Summit in the Cape, and the purpose was to establish and strengthen partnerships between Tvet colleges and private sector to increase the numbers of apprenticeships, internships, workplace-based experience, and opportunities for work-integrated learning within the Tvet sector. I must say that the minister was very intentional on this type of gathering, that the summit that he hosted. As we went out of that summit with tasks that we were supposed to perform as colleges and commitments that principals were supposed to make. And I must also mention that in the same summit, my institution received a gold award nationally for the college with the highest number of local and international partnerships. Forging partnerships for placing students at workplaces can be challenging when employers are reluctant. When they are reluctant to participate, however, here are some strategies you can consider. The strategies that I'm sharing today are straight to the point. I did not go on to researching what could be done. I am sharing the 7 strategies that I am currently making use of at my institution. And the first strategy would be communicate the benefits. Communicating the benefits to the employer, or rather, communicating the benefits to the reluctant employer. And there's supposed to be a clear articulation of the benefits that the employers can gain from participating in the partnership. We should also highlight how it can contribute to their recruitment efforts, how it will provide access to motivated and skilled talent, and to support their corporate social responsibility goals. My second strategy is to have a very personalized approach as we are talking to reluctant employers. We need to be tailoring the approach to each employer's needs and interests, and demonstrate an understanding of their industry and showcase how the partnership can align with their objectives. It is not to be treated as a formula that will suit every employer. Therefore, tailor-making the partnership agreement assists a lot, bearing in mind that companies are profit-driven. Strategy number 3 is to build trust. Establish trust by showcasing your organization's track record, credibility, and commitment to providing quality student placement. As I've said in the last slide, companies are profit-driven, therefore, they would not have time for unstructured programs. Second there is to provide references or success stories from previous partnerships. Indicate that you know what you are doing and you've been working with other partners, and this is the results that were yielded from your previous engagements, and assure employers of the support and value they can expect. For example, a track record that can be shared, it is a simple annual report of the college where you wish to prove your credibility as an institution. It is a document that can be relied on due to the fact that it's been signed by the chairperson of the college council. The principal's signature is on that. It has been submitted to the Department of Higher Education and Training, and it has got the financials or the financial position of the college as audited financial statements signed off by the AG. So to me, and the performance of the students is also recorded in the annual report. So I've seen that sharing the annual report, it helps a lot, because from reading the annual report, a company happened to have an overview of the entire college. Strategy number 4 is to offer incentives. Offer incentives to these companies. In what form? Consider offering incentives to encourage reluctant employers to participate. This could include financial incentives, which SETA is already doing. It sounds a bit weird to say give to a company, but there's quite a lot that we can give back to the companies. There could be training incentives. There could be tailor-made programs that are given to companies, or we could be training the staff members one way or the other, but giving back to them, it should be a two-way process. Access to networking events or professional development opportunities, or recognition for their involvement at the business breakfast or similar events. That is strategy number 4. Strategy number 5 is the networking and relationship building. Attend industry events, forums, and networking opportunities where you can engage with employers directly. This is the forming of a relationship with them, getting to know them better, and not just for them taking the students in with a mind that they are reluctant. And then on this one, foster relationships by demonstrating genuine interest and understanding of their challenges and specific needs. It still goes back to the tailoring specific needs of each industry. Strategy number 6, which is the last but one, start small. Very important, start small. If you haven't got meaningful partnerships as yet, start small and demonstrate success. Begin by partnering with a few willing employers and focus on delivering exceptional results. Showcase the positive outcomes and impact of these partnerships to gain the trust and interest of other employers. I've realized that starting small and having meaningful partnerships makes a whole lot of sense. The last strategy is on flexibility and customization. Be willing to adapt your program to meet the specific needs of employers. Employers have got the specific needs whereby they would need students at a time that the students are not available. It could be during recess, it could be in December, it could be in the weekends, where students may not be willing, but unfortunately, employers would have to be responded to accordingly in accordance with their needs. So we should be willing to adapt our programs to meet their specific needs. On the flexibility and customization, my last point there is to work with them, the employers, to understand their unique requirements, their constraints and preferences to create a mutual beneficial partnership. And lastly, remember that building partnerships takes time and effort. It's a whole lot of work. Therefore, patience, persistence, and a proactive approach are key when engaging with reluctant employers. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for lending me your ears.
Ma'am, thank you very much. I'm not sure why we did not clap when she says Citibank College received gold for placement. Now she has shared with you the strategies, but the one that I really like is the one of the, she shared about 7 or 6, but the one that I really like is the personalized approach. Companies are different. They are different in size, in terms of the product. Therefore, you cannot have the same strategy for all of them. Thank you very much, ma'am, for that. Now we are going to move to the next presenter from Brazil. I am not sure whether they are ready. IT. Brazil, are you on the line?
Hello? Yes, I'm on the line.
Yes, we can hear you. Say you can go ahead with your presentation. You've got 5 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Okay, can you hear my presentation?
Yes.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can see the presentation.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, may I start? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, hi dear colleagues. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to collaborate with this event. The topics dealt here here are extremely important. I'm sure they will contribute to bringing clarity and showing what each one of us has done in order to improve our education. Well, in the next screen, I'm going to present myself. So, I'm Leonardo Tavares. I am from Brazil, as you know. My actual position is Director of Innovation Hub at Fluminense Federal Institute since 2022. Also, I'm professor at Fluminense Federal Institute since 1994. I'm a Master in Operational Research and Proportional Intelligence, Bachelor in Production Engineer. More than 15 years actuating as entrepreneur, working with industry solutions. More than 29 years working with academy and companies. more than 10 years coordinating innovation projects. So what is WBL, Workplace-Based Learning? How can I say, it is a term of activities that link employers and schools to provide special learning experience for students. Of course, there are some meanings for WBL, but here I could highlight some important filters that show its main meaning. So this experience focused on broad skill development that apply knowledge, skills learned in classroom to the real world. Students with disabilities should have the opportunity to participate in WBL programs that meet their needs. When you talk about companies and school relationship, we can talk about benefits of work-based learning, including schools. So there are many point of views when we are talking about students, employers, schools, and community. So when we link school and the role of school or world of work, we can link work professionals and educators. In the schools, we expand program and learning facilities and community, create an environment of collaboration and cooperation. More motivation to stay school on the side of students develops relationship with the school's systems. The schools provides access to the new technology and job trends, and community provide visible results with the school system. Make contacts for future employment and mentoring, and employers helps develop more skilled and motivated employers. The schools meets the needs of diverse students. The community encourages community respect and tolerance. Builds positive work habits and better understanding of workplace expectations. And employers provide opportunity for community services. Schools makes education more relevant and engaging to students. The community sets a base for a more productive economy. In general benefits, I could say, highlight some benefits generated by WBL and that can be proven based on successful cases that are being demonstrated. The subject has been treated for more than 20 years found in scientific articles and publications. In this one, I can show some other benefits. In general situation, would say that among all space of human activity, probably the one in which the demand for more and better learning outcomes become clearest is the work environment. So, real school experience, skills development, network opportunities, increase employability, career exploration, personal growth, transition to employment. So this is those are the general benefits we can see. What are the proactive approaches to strengthen the WBL versus companies relationship? So we can say understand employee reluctance. So you need to identify the specific reasons behind employees' reluctance to participate in WBL programs. It could be concerns about productivity, cost, liability, or lack of awareness about the benefits of WBL. Addressing this concern will be crucial for forging partnership. Highlight the benefits of WBL. Benefits of WBL. educating for employees about the potential advantages of WBL, such as access to a skilled workforce, increased employee loyalty, reducing recruiting costs, and improving productivity. Show them success stories and case studies of companies that have benefited from WBL partnerships. Develop a clear values position. Create a compelling value position for employees by clearly outlining the mutual benefits of the partnership. Emphasize how WBL can help address their specific needs and challenges, such as fast-tracking skills development, reducing training costs, and improving employee retention. Customize programs to fit employees' requirements. Flexibility is key when designing WBL programs. Customize the programs to meet the needs and requirements of each employee. Ensure that the learning objectives align with the employee's goals. This will increase their willingness to engage in the partnership. So start small and showcase success. Begin with pilot programs and or a smaller scale partnership to demonstrate the positive outcomes of WBL. Highlight the success achieved by showcasing the skills and competence developed by WBL participants and their contributions to the workplace. Collaborate with industry associations and chambers of commerce. Get support from industry associations and chambers of commerce to promote the benefits of WBL. These organizations can leverage their influence and networks to advocate for WBL and encourage employers to participate. The last one, advocate for policy change. Collaborate with policy markers and education institutions to advocate for policies that support and incentivize employees' participation in WBL. This can include tax incentives, streamlined regulations, or recognition programs for employees engaged in successful WBL partnership. So, overall, forging proposal partnership for WBL requires achieving engagement, customized approaches, and effective communication to address employers' reluctance and challenges by highlighting the mutual benefits and creating a supportive environment. These partnerships can be forged successfully. So there are some initiatives in Brazil. National Council of Education and National Curriculum Guidelines. So a focus in competency training, flexibility in the curriculum, focus in praxis. Startup incubators, they function as incubators for newborn companies or startups. Help innovation projects or nascent companies until they are able to launch themselves in the market. With an incubator, the startup receives technical support through training, mentoring, and training. Innovations notes. Funding notices is a very efficient way for institutions to finance their projects. Currently, there are many public and private entities that contemplate the most different areas. So the last one, creation of Innovation Hub, is a partnership of government, universities, and business, promoting increased competitiveness and productivity of the national economy, promote the development of applied research and qualification of human resource for research, development and innovation actions. I invite you people to visit this website called Embrapi. Brics is a company in Brazil that that is not a fund, it's a government investment. So the government invests together the company. They share the risk of the project. So I invite you to visit this website and know a little bit more in Brics. Brics is a company, Brazilian company for industrial innovation. So the final message is, do not develop technology for companies, develop it with the companies. When you do not develop, when you develop technology for companies, it creates mistrust in the conduct of projects. It makes the evaluation of intellectual property difficult. It makes technology and knowledge transfer difficult. So when developed with the company, it creates synergy in the conduction of projects, retain technology and knowledge, retain talents in the company. So that's my presentation. Thank you very much. I am Leonardo Tavares from Brazil. I invite you to know a little bit more than me. So follow this QR code and you know about my institution, Fluminense Federal Institute CONIF. Thank you very much.
Can we give him a round of applause? Thank you very much, sir. One thing that I like, I think it's also been lifted up by the South African representative, it's that start small. I think we should just adopt the Nike slogan, just do it. If you're gonna dream, you will never do it, so you must start small. We are moving along to Russia representative, Natalie Asenova, Chief Specialist International Cooperation Office. Are you ready, ma'am?
Yes, though I'm not Natalia Aksionova,
okay.
I'm Anna Muravyova, because of the shift in the program, Natalia had to go to another meeting.
Okay.
But if you bear with me, I'll present on the workplace based learning.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll try to keep to the time allocated. If I don't, please don't be mad with me.
Okay.
Now,
you can go ahead, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Now, so I'll start with the overall context. And I don't think it makes sense just to stress once again how the links with enterprises are important. It's obvious. And with us, we've been involved in setting up this and enhancing interaction between Tvet and businesses within the social partnership model, starting from, I mean, in the modern interpretation of the social partnership model, beginning with the new century. And because we all understand that Tvet, without the labor market employers, that is, without the people for whom you produce your product, makes no sense. And we have accumulated some experience which we would like to share with you. Maybe you'll find it interesting. And due to the enhanced cooperation and due to different tacks that were tried to develop workplace or work-based learning and involve employers in Tvet, in developing curricula, in offering job placements, etc., and practical training placements, we have actually come up with a model with a new, I would even call it with a new paradigm, which we entitled Personalised, and which is really reshaping the landscape of Tvet in Russia. This has, as I've already said, been made possible by numerous efforts, by numerous trial and error attempts and success stories. But what actually gave all those efforts an institutional format was the decree, the presidential decree on setting up the National Qualifications Councils, followed by the establishment of sector qualification councils, known in other parts of the globe as sector skills councils in different occupational areas. And these councils, among other things, are entrusted with development of occupational standards that serve the basis for education for Tvet standards, and they develop and approve qualifications for their occupational area, etc., and a lot of other things. So it's the consolidated body representing.
I'm on Zoom.
You're on Zoom?
Yeah.
Are you not part of the meeting?
Somebody interfered and lost my thought. So actually it's a consolidated.
Oh, no, I'm mixing the 10 o'clock. No, we can start.
Ma'am, it's probably from your side. Huh? Okay. Okay, can we just mute at the back, please? Okay. Ma'am, can you connect again? Ma'am?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that one.
But this is quite interesting.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Sorry about that, ma'am. You can go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. It's normal. Okay, so this is each council is a consolidated representation of the interests of the sector, and this consolidated approach to sector qualifications councils happened because trust had already been built between companies, sector enterprises, and the Tvet system. So it's just institutionalization of what came natural as a result of certain efforts and serious efforts. And based on that appeared what I mentioned before, this new paradigm, new Tvet paradigm or model, Personalised. It started only in 2020 under the federal project with the same title. And it's part of the strategy of within the strategy of social and economic development of the Russian Federation. And the goal of this project, of this new paradigm, is to ensure a comprehensive modernization of Tvet system towards building a new sector-based model of training qualified specialists relevant for the labor market. So it aims at synchronizing the Tvet system with the national economy in the situation of the import substitution that we're living in. So the innovative curricula developed with participation of employers and real participation are competence-based, intensive, and address the needs of sector labor markets and concrete enterprises, and contain an enhanced workplace learning component distributed all across the program. So it's not practical training or workplace period to reinforce something. It's that you learn with it it's part of the curriculum. It's part of the competences that you acquire at the workplace, which makes it really innovative for us. And as a result, students can acquire a relevant occupational qualification after 2 years, and they can start working while still in college because they're known to the employer and they've been in the workplaces assigned by employers. And again, there is trust between employers and the students have better opportunities of further placements and work opportunities. So this new paradigm envisages intensification of teaching and learning. So combining most up-to-date equipment for practical training, for acquiring practical competencies, and most up-to-date teaching methodologies and benefits of digitalization. The students have to take a demo exam in a real-life situation at the workplace, at the enterprises. So the overall, the model is, well, it's nothing so very new, but given the scope of the country, the number of Tvet colleges, and the change that ensues in the relations between enterprises, between companies, businesses, and the Tvet institutions, this is really a very serious undertaking and a real change. Now, what we have done to date, so it started only practically a year ago. First of all, the whole paradigm is based on the cluster principle. What is cluster principle? We have sector enterprises and colleges that are in cooperation with the sector enterprises. And there may be one central key enterprise within the cluster, or in some sectors where there are no large-scale enterprises, you will have simply numerous companies and colleges interacting with them. So we have about over 200 clusters already established in 67 regions of the country. And we have 24 sectors involved, over 380 companies have partnered with colleges and are jointly participating in the implementation of the new paradigm. And of course, the new paradigm calls for new curricula. And as you can see from the slide, 1,147 new core Tvet curricula have been developed and approved. Over 85% of graduates are expected to get jobs in the partner companies. And all these processes have been accompanied by teacher upskilling and instructors of practical training upskilling, because they have to come to grips with the new equipment, with the new technologies, with the new teaching and learning things. Over 4,000 people have been upskilled. And I repeat, it's only 1 year. And of course, the project is supported by the appropriate legal framework. And there are different regulations issued by the Ministry of Education, but these are many and probably not so important at this point. Okay, that was what I wanted to share with you. And if you want to learn more about this initiative, you're welcome. We'll share what we have learned and what we're learning, and we're always willing to learn from you. Thank you.
Ma'am, thank you very much. Can you give a round of applause? Ma'am, can we ask you to share the presentation with the secretariat so that we can read? Thank you very much for the model. Very interesting. It's something that it's of interest to us, so we'd really like if you can share with us so that we can further read. Now we are moving on. Thanks, ma'am. Now we're moving over to China representative, Ms. Shiklung, pardon me, Secretary of the Party Committee, Ninja Vocational Institute of Railway Technology. In the interest of time, ma'am, you've only got 5 minutes. If you can just keep it nice and sweet, short. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Malawa, and greetings from China to my colleagues online and friends in South Africa. I'm the Chancellor of Nanjing Vocational Institute of Railway Technology, so today is my great pleasure to share our conception and comments on the challenges that workplace-based learning needs to address. Business and education are two sectors with inherently different pursuits. While employers in business sector care about cost control, pursuing high efficiency with maximized possible output and minimized reasonable input. Schools care more about quality control, pursuing high quality education with sufficient academic, educational,